Buenos tardes, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know, like a motherfucking smack addict. And what I wanted to do today, man, is I wanted to bring a little positivity to the channel and something that's alarming and concerning, something that's been going on. We've been talking about it in the prison genre, the prison community. Um, Basically, this integration that's happening in the state of California, where they're putting SNY and non-active members of that collective with GP, general population. And basically, what that's doing is that's ruining everybody's program. It's messing things up, man, and it's real life. And I brought someone on here, someone special today, Renee Arigan from We Are Their Voices. This is an organization she founded. I'm gonna let her speak on it, and she's her sole purpose is to help prevent, any type of things going on that affect these prisoners in a negative way. And the push is to help these guys that are incarcerated behind these walls that don't have their voices and their voices can't be felt. She is the voice for the people, by the people. So I'll let her introduce herself and speak on her organization. Hello, Renee.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. So yes, my name is Renee. I started We Are Their Voices. And what that basically is, we're the families of the incarcerated. And we fight for the injustices on the inside. And it's exactly that, we're their voices. They don't have a voice inside. As the families to date, we have protested at every single prison in California, all 35, as the families. We did that in 2 months. We also hit up ICE detention centers. We've been to Governor Newsom's house, Kathleen Ellison, who's the secretary of CDCR, along with headquarters and the state capitol. So we are only speaking from the families aspect. These inside, we are not worried about who they are affiliated with, who they belong to. They are our husbands, our brothers, our sons, our fathers. So with this integration, we have seen families in complete distress. I mean, we're talking families calling, crying because they've done a transfer on their loved one and they have no idea. They were not up for transfer. This was not planned. They have no idea where they're going. A lot of the prisons have gone in riot mode, lockdown mode, cuff status only mode. And these guys inside are literally having message calls to just tell their families, like, look, I don't know what's going to happen. No, regardless, I love you. Like, that's how real it is. And for us out here, we are desperate. We are crushed. We love these ones inside. And so we're having a statewide protest June 25th. And what we're trying to do on that is we feel it's very important to touch down on the prisons. They need to know inside that, look, we hear you, we see you, we got you. And they're not used to that. The prisons hate when we show up because they're not used to the spotlight being put on them. They're not used to being held accountable. Everyone else takes it to the Capitol or, legislation, which we will do as well. But when you stomp those grounds and those COs come out, and we've had them call the cops on us, and we're just women and children, but it does intimidate. And we are aggressive, we are like, we know what you're doing and we're here. And it gives them hope inside because they are not used to people caring. They're not used to people giving a damn. They are constantly overlooked. So June 25th, we hit all prisons across the state. We're asking everyone, look, just show up at your loved one's prison or your nearest prison and stand in solidarity and let them know we're here and we're coming. And then July 11th is when we're heading to the state capitol. We will be going to headquarters first at CDCR at 10 a.m. And then we march over to the state capitol and we go back to CDCR. We've got a petition started already with the families that we will present at CDCR along with state capitol, our legislation. And we are just asking for people to support this movement because when you show up in the masses, it does intimidate them and light is shed. That's what we had to do during COVID. But this is so important. We've known as of now from family members inside 5 deaths already. Stabbings are unlimited. And we need support. They need our support. This has got to stop.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know some things have went down. I think just in Solano prison the other day,
Mm-hmm.
Centinela,
Mm-hmm.
Salinas Valley.
Yep.
I mean, it's just what I've been hearing, and we've been talking about it in the community, man. Everybody has done something on it. They're taking just anybody. There is no rhyme or reason. It's just they're transpacking you overnight and you're gone. Where are they placing these guys? Have you heard? Are they placing them in an ad seg overflow or just straight to the yards? or
So for some, we've heard that they're going straight to confinement.
okay,
Others are being locked up where they would like hold COVID,
okay,
cases. And so it's random, and the families aren't learning till later. They literally have no idea. They get a message call, like, your husband wants us to let you know he's been transferred. Where did he go? We have no idea. They rolled about 15 guys out this morning. Like, or other prisons are like, we heard a busload is coming of 70 people. They don't know, they don't know who or where or what. And so there is so much chaos going on inside, and we know why. For one, these
yeah,
bills that have just passed, these guys are coming home left and right. And because of that, Newsom has been shutting down prisons, because in all actuality, it's saving taxpayers money in the millions
mm-hmm,
when these prisons close down. Well, CDCR is losing money. And we also know a group inside, again, we don't mention because we're not affiliate with that's regardless, but there is a group inside that just recently sued CDCR for more programming, and they won.
mm,
And that made CDCR look so bad. So if you look at the memo that was sent out to the families and the incarcerated, they're like, oh, this is so everyone can have programming. And this is, it's all retaliatory. They did this crap 3 years ago, and it was so violent, they had to stop it. They called it an experiment. But
yeah,
it's a policy put in place by Ralph Diaz when those hunger strikes were successful and there was that peace treaty amongst them all and they all came together.
yeah,
He basically was like, all right, bet, watch which you all want to get along. Let's go ahead and put y'all. And this is why this policy got started. So we have to shut the policy down too, which we have to go to legislation, but that takes so long. So that's
yeah.
why these protests are powerful, baby. Families are in distress, worse than COVID, worse than COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? And I know in 2018 they did implement the first experiment as far as integrating people. They started with certain group factions in there. We're not going to speak on,
Mhm.
and it didn't quite work out. And just like you said, it's retaliatory. They're re-implementing it because they lost that landmark case, man. Basically, where guys, all came together, the end of hostilities, and were able to come from behind, basically the dungeons, the shoe where they spent decades on indeterminates.
Yeah.
And CDCR is not filling that, man. It's definitely an agenda. It's
Yeah.
something we've been speaking on. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And everybody needs to come together as a gente, as a people, because everyone is affected that has loved ones that are incarcerated
Yes.
or could be incarcerated in the future. And it's not like it's set in stone now where you either go to this side or you go to that side. Now you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. You don't know
And
who
it's
you're
a
sealed
dangerous
up
situation.
with. They don't know anything. They don't know who they're sealed up with. And when people say, well, so many, it's crazy how some people are like, well, this doesn't really affect, or it is what it is. And it's like, look, guys who have worked so hard to not get write-ups
Yeah.
are now getting write-ups. And if they have parole, guess what? Parole does not care that you went 5 years with no write-up. You get one out of defending yourself, and they will deny you 5 to 10 years. So these bills are pointless now. We worked so hard. We fought so hard to change the system, and it is so strategic on CDCR. I mean, honestly, they definitely pulled checkmate on this one, because
Yeah.
they are using their own Title 15 that's in their policy to literally eliminate anyone coming home, and you're either going to get a longer sentence or you're going to come home in a body bag. They would rather see you die than 1 day of freedom. And this is how real it is. It is not dramatic. We are not exaggerating. It is a fact. And families are scared. Is that the last time I talked to my husband? Is that the last time my husband talked to his kids? Like, these are the realities right now. And 5 families as of now have to tell that to their children. Like, that's it. That's final. You're never going to see your dad again. He's never coming home. And so
Yeah.
we are desperate, and we are desperate for people need to come together. We want the formerly incarcerated come out and speak. We are their voices. We speak for them on the inside because we're their only voice, but who really knows the reality are the ones that have been there.
Yeah.
So we need those ones to come out, because the society, they need to understand, and you guys live it. We only get a portion. You guys do really good at protecting us. There could be bombs going off and you're all like, no, babe, it's okay. It's, you want to protect us, and we get that. So we only get a fraction. And what we do know is terrifying. But you guys know the reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. It's one of those things where you've been there and you've done that, so you could speak on it.
Yes.
And this, I could never imagine, it's gone in stages. The first time they tried it, I was like, this isn't going to work, and I think that's everyone's first assumption. This isn't going to work, and of course it didn't. And then, because there's rules and regulations, things you have to abide by when you're in prison. Prison is a whole different world, but it still is part of our world, and we can't forget that.
Right.
And then with the end of hostilities, I was like, well, I never seen this coming, but I was glad that people finally won. The people finally were able to come together, and that's what happens if we come together as people. We can make change. We can
Yes.
definitely make social change, and a lot of people are scared of that, or they're too busy and stuck in their everyday lives to worry about a loved one that's incarcerated, out of sight, out of mind. But
Yep.
they're still in there, and they still need us. So it's up to us to facilitate some type of movement to change what's going on, because it's getting uglier. It's gotten uglier in the last month or two. Bodies are now dropping, and they're going to continue to, as long as these people can get away with this. They're going to. And it's now become, it passed in Congress, right? It's a law.
This is an actual bill, and that's the article. There's articles in their Title 15 that they implemented. And so, yes, they are legally within their right because it's in their Title 15. And that is why after this, or in the process now, we're trying to look at a civil lawsuit. We have to see if one's been filed already. That process is long. And then we all have to reach out to our legislation in our county. We just need one assembly, just one person to take it to the table that stands with us. Once they do, it still takes a year, but we are specifically fighting their policy in the Title 15, which allows these, and there's several on it. Most people know it is just like the walk and talk, but behind that walk and talk is the actual policy that allows for that. And so it's madness, and it's hard to get people to care. I mean, that's like our hardest battle in this, is just people to show up. Thankfully, we do have Lori Gutierrez, who is the Prime Minister of the Brown Berets, for one of the chapters. We got the Brown Berets coming, and we have some amazing Oakland and Abolish backing us up, some Sacramento activists, like people that are like, we're with you, but for my heart, I really want the formerly incarcerated as well. I just feel this is their time to speak too, because of, again, the injustices, the brutality. It's just time to unite, man, or nothing's going to change. Nothing. And you can't wait for other people. You have to. Is it hard? Yes. Time consuming? Yes. It can be a difficult? Absolutely. But they're worth it. We're talking about humans, like,
that are in a situation that there's nothing they could possibly do. They're going to move them where they want to move them, and they could do this several times over. They could send them to a yard, and if they happen to live past that one, then they'll go to the next one. I've been through the same exact thing. In the early 90s, when I was a young kid and I was sent to California Youth Authority, Governor Pete Wilson at the time, he implemented this, which was basically integration, sending people from up north down south. And so I had to live it. I lived it. Of course, it wasn't as dangerous as it is now. Right. Now it's for keeps, and people are actually dying. And this is something that we need to put out there. That's why when you reached out to me without no hesitation, I want to do my part. I want to do my part because I'm not trying to live and thrive off the blood of the people behind the walls. I definitely want to see everyone get out. I want to see everyone make it, regardless of the political climate and whatever you agree to disagree on. That's neither here nor there. It's all about the people, for the people, by the people. And just like I say, in order to be for the people, we have to be by the people, stand side by side and march and protest and do what we have to do, so that way we could get some of these laws overturned and implement, basically rock the good rhyme. That's what I like to say, for the people. So again, can you put it out there when this protest is going to happen, what you guys are going to do again for those that are just watching?
Yes. So We Are Their Voices. Real quick, you can follow us on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. I put everything on my personal TikTok, Silly Temper. And then June 25th is where we're encouraging everyone to go to their loved one's prison. It's a visit day. It's Saturday. Most people are going to be there anyway. You can protest before or after your visit. Get together with your prison wives, families, whatever, on June 25th. So we cover all prisons on that day in solidarity. And then July 11th, 10 a.m., we are meeting at CDCR headquarters in Sacramento. From there, we will march to the state capitol, present the petition, and then have speakers, all of that, and then come back to CDCR. We may make our way over to the Attorney General as well, that's in the vicinity, presenting them with the petition. And we need bodies. We need everybody, please, to show up. They matter. They're important, and we have to fight. We have to. We don't have a choice. We have to get out there.
I agree.
Thank you for doing this. The families, we watch you. We appreciate you. We appreciate that you just speak the way you present it. Like you said, we're the same way. We are not getting involved. To us, it is irrelevant who's who, because they're our family. But people have to know what's going on. And if no one is speaking on it, then no one knows how to fight or what to do. So we really appreciate you, and even giving us this time right now. You have no idea what it means to us.
Not a problem. And I also want to throw that out there for any other YouTube channel, man, in this prison genre, or anybody that cares, that has a family member that's incarcerated, and this crosses all lines. Let's do our best to come together right here with our platforms and let our voices be heard. Because just like she says, we are the voices of the incarcerated. We are their voices. So let's come together as a people. I appreciate you coming on. We're going to definitely put this out there for everyone to hear. This is something that everyone needs to think about, needs to hear, and needs to know what's going on right now in real life today. And hopefully we could all come together and get, make some change. Let's get some change going.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. Y'all take care. Stay safe.
Yep. Thank you. With that being said, you already know what it is, man. Move fast with a purpose. Go out there and hustle for your family. Do things the right way. If you have loved ones that are incarcerated, don't just write them. Go fight for them, man. We need everyone we got. With that being said, hit that like and subscribe. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for the gente incarcerated, as well as the gente out here, for the people, by the people. We are the people. You know what it is. The gun. Bang, bang.